What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be your review for Cartel Crew Season 2, Episode 5. Shouts out to you guys for watching my Cartel Crew reviews. I got a lot of reviews this week. And shouts out to the person who left that wonderful comment about how I'm not qualified to review this show and some other not so nice things. But anyway, y'all can check it out and see what that wonderful person said about me. Anyway, we're here for another episode of Cartel Crew. We pick up where we left off last week. We got the aftermath of the fight. Stephanie has been put out. Nicole and her friend are in the bathroom examining her scratches and bruises, and of course she's upset and ready to go back out and fight again. Now, what I found interesting was that Kat didn't get put out. Now, I know that Stephanie wouldn't calm down and they ended up putting Stephanie out, but my thing is, hell, Kat was the one that threw the first punch. And Kat's still inside. Stephanie's outside. And Stephanie was feeling some kind of way because nobody came outside to check on her. And I understand where she's coming from. You know, I get it that everybody was upset and there was a lot going on. But at the end of the day, these were people that were your friends that used to rock with you. And nobody came outside with her. Like, Kat, you should have left on GP. You should have left on GP. And Stephanie was feeling some kind of way. Now, her friend finally did come out and check on her. But Stephanie was like, yo, it took you 30 minutes. Like, I've been out here for 30 minutes. And now you want to come and check on me? And she was like, look, Stephanie, I feel where you're coming from. But Betty is my friend, too. And her event was ruined. And so, yes, I was talking to her, letting her know, you know, I'm sorry about what happened or whatever. But, yeah, I'm out here checking on you now because I do care about you. But Betty is a friend of mine. I still don't understand why Stephanie got so nasty with Betty. Like, I still don't understand. You know, like I said, I made a comment last week about the fact that Betty has connections to Young Money. And somebody left a comment about, you know, Stephanie not being signed or whatever. And I wasn't saying that. I was just saying maybe there's a history there that we don't know because they've both had interactions with Young Money. That's all I was saying. Because other than the fact that she was just pissed off. But my thing is, it was her event. She had every right to be angry. And all she was doing in the beginning was asking y'all to calm the hell down. She didn't know what was going on while y'all were arguing, but she knew that y'all was messing up her event. And I would have felt the same way. Kat did apologize to Betty and said that she was sorry, that she understands, you know, if it had been her event, she'd have been pissed off too. And, you know, so that sort of seemed to end on a good note as far as at least Kat apologizing. But of course, Stephanie is still pissed off, and, you know, it's going to be what it's going to be. We'll get back to that later on. The next day, I'm sorry, not the next day. The fellas are over having a conversation. And let me tell you something. I respected the hell out of this conversation because I feel like all too often people give their friends passes, you know, or they walk on eggshells around a situation that they don't want to piss their friend off about. But Magic is straight up having a conversation with Lowe about the situation with his baby's mother, and come to find out, Lowe isn't paying the child support like he's supposed to be paying. What it sounds like is that they're not going through the court. No, that's not true because they were going through the court. I don't know. But neither here nor there. It sounds like Lowe isn't paying like he's supposed to be paying or like he said he's paying. He is behind on his child support. And Magic is telling him point blank, a man that don't take care of his child ain't a man. And Lowe was like, are you serious right now? What, I'm not a man because I don't pay my child support? He was like, exactly. Like, you don't take care of your child, you don't take care of your seed, you're not a real man. That's what a man does. And Eddie and Michael were all co-signing. Now, Michael was kind of staying kind of quiet, but he definitely agreed with what was being said, you know. And I really respect the fact that they told him he was wrong. They stood in it. They didn't give him a pass, and they told him he needed to get it together. I can respect that. Now, the next day, or I'm not sure if it was the next day, but later on, we see Stephanie talking to her mom, and she's explaining to her mom what's been going on with Kat and everything like that. And her mom was like, look, you and Kat are friends. I hate to see that y'all are going through this. I really hope y'all work it out. Then Kat shows up. And Stephanie and Kat have a moment because they missed each other and they really were friends. And Stephanie's mom proceeded to talk to Kat. Because you know what her mom was telling Stephanie before she got there was like, look, She loves this man. And above all else, she wants to believe that this man is going to be there for her. And you got to understand that she loves him. And you can't make her see it your way. You can't make her feel the way you feel. Like, you got to respect what she's dealing with, and respect that is her family. So Stephanie's mom talked to Kat about her experience. But she even said to Kat, she said, look, I'm not saying your experience is going to be my experience. But that's why Stephanie feels the way she feels, because of our experience. And Stephanie did apologize to Kat and said that she did do too much. She was out of line. She was wrong for going up to his job. But then she did tell her story and explain why she felt the way she felt. And obviously they made up, And Kat understood where she was coming from and appreciated the thought, and even appreciated what she was hearing from Stephanie's mom. But at the end of the day, like I said before, you can't make somebody do anything you want them to do. And I'm glad that Stephanie realized that she was overboard. But like she said, she was like, and I appreciate what you did for me the other night. And Kat was like, look, at the end of the day, we still friends. Like, people might not understand our relationship, but we know what our relationship is. We know how deep it is. And at the end of the day, I'm going to always have your back, And so they came to a good understanding, and they patched it up. Then we see Lowe with his baby's mama. Now, this scene was very awkward for me. I wasn't sure quite wasn't hitting right in this scene, but at the end of the day, Lowe said, you weren't checking for me till you broke up with your man. The minute you broke up with your man, now all of a sudden you want me to come around more, and you putting all these stipulations on me spending time with my child. Now, in this conversation, we found out that he is behind, but his thing was, you know what? But I just gave you $3,500. I don't know if that was money of arrears. I don't know what that was, but he just gave her a big chunk, $3,500, and he was like, and I don't understand where it went. Like, my daughter ain't wearing Jordans. Like, she not wearing brand new clothes and stuff, but I see you fly. Your hair's done. Your nails are done. So you need to do better with how you spend your money. You want to keep throwing at me that I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to be there for my child, and you're making it hard for me. Like, you're really making it hard for me. So then she throws it out there. Yeah, but you ain't had no problem being in my bed the other night, though, did you? And Lowe ain't had nothing to say. He was, well, yeah, but I mean, I know that that's something I need to stop doing. You think? Like, again, you can't be mad at me when the sun is up, and then when the sun go down, all of a sudden I'm okay. Like, I can't be this horrible, bitch, this terrible person, and then when the sun go down, everything is all good. But then when the sun come back up, I'm back to being that horrible person. No, you can't have it both ways, Lowe. If your baby mama crazy, she crazy at night, she crazy during the day. And when you do stuff like that, you send in mixed signals, especially if this woman still has feelings for you and she still wants to be with you. You are sending very mixed signals, Lowe. And, he realizes that. And we see him later on in the episode he goes to talk to Kat, and Kat's like, oh, it's nice to see you. Come to find out, he hasn't been coming to the shop. He hasn't been tattooing. He's sort of been MIA. Now, last season, we saw that Lowe dealt with alcoholism and depression. We did see that last season. And what it sounds like is that he's sort of dealing with a depression. He's dealing with some depression again. And he told Kat, look, I just need to get away for a while. I really, really just need to get away for a while. And I have this opportunity to go to Europe, do some tattooing, just kind of clear my mind so I can come back and just deal with it. He said, because if I stay here, I'm going to put a bullet in my head. And I just think that people need to, when you hear people talk like that, you need to understand that it is serious. They're not playing. They're not just bullshitting. Like, he's serious. So I respect that he's, because at the end of the day, yes, he's going away from his child, but he can't be good for anybody. He's no good for anybody if, one, he's not in the right mindset, 2, he's depressed or suicidal, and 3, if he's in any way going to harm himself. There's nothing he can do to help anybody. So I can respect that, Lowe. I respect him walking away from the show, walking away from what's going on to say, this is what I need to do to be better for my child. I can respect that. So we're just going to go ahead and just knock them on out the way. So then we see where Maria's having a little get together, honey, down to the house. To bring all the ladies together to clear the air. I mean, that was basically the reason for them to come together, was to clear the air. And Maria invited everybody. She invited Stephanie. She invited Kat. She invited Betty. She invited Diana. You know, she invited everybody. Now, I guess they were having a little poolside situation. I guess it's how people roll around in Miami. You just show up in your bikini, just walking around. Like, that's how they just do in Miami. Like, they don't wear a cover up. They don't put clothes on over top of their bikini and then take the bikini off when they get there. Because Betty and Diane and Nicole showed up. They just in a bikini and heels. I said, that's just how they got out the car? Is that how the Uber picked them up? They drove like that? I don't know. Okay. Anyway. And don't get me wrong. They got beautiful bodies. I'm not hating on the body. Don't nobody say that. I ain't hating on that. I was just wondering if that's just how people roll around in Miami anyway. So we get there and everybody shows up. I love that little outfit Stephanie had on. It was a cute little outfit. And they basically get to talking about what happened at the party. And we find out that Diana lied about the fact that she invited Nicole's friend. Diana lied because she said, I was just trying to piss Nicole off. Like, yeah, I was trying to piss Stephanie off. Yeah, I didn't invite her. Stephanie had a +1. I assumed she was going to bring her boyfriend because he was in town. I didn't know that's who she was going to bring. But yeah, I wasn't mad about it because at the time I was pissed off at you. So then she said, so Nicole was like, well, look, I wouldn't have bought her if I knew you were going to be there. I was told you weren't coming. I know you don't rock with her. I know you got beef with her. I wouldn't have bought her. But at the end of the day, she is still my friend. I just keep y'all away from each other. Okay, Nicole, I could definitely respect that. I can respect that. And Nicole's thing is, she was repeating what she heard. She did not make up the rumor. She didn't just sit around and make up a story. Somebody told her that story, and she told me because she knows that I was hanging around her. And somebody in my comments did refresh my memory that Stephanie started this last season by pulling old Instagram pictures or whatever of Nicole with a police badge questioning her loyalty. So then her friend sort of gave Stephanie this ammunition to kind of throw back at Stephanie. I mean, gave Nicole this ammunition to sort of throw back at Stephanie. So I was like, you know what? That is how that went down. I do remember that now. So then Diana and Stephanie had their moment. And Diana was like, Stephanie said, well, why would you lie? Like, why? First of all, why didn't you invite me to your party? She said, I feel alone. I feel like it's y'all against me. Like, y'all were all my friends. But then at the party, a party that I wasn't even invited to by you. I was invited, but not by y'all. I get there and I see all of y'all hanging out basically with the ops. The same people that y'all know out here lying on my dad. And y'all know how serious that could have been. Like, my dad could have been killed behind that. And Diana was like, well, you didn't come to my event. Stephanie was like, first of all, other people didn't come to your event. She was like, yeah, but they called me. She said, you know what? I didn't call you. Because I do still feel some kind of way about the fact that you talk cash, no pun intended, cash money, trash about my career last year. Now all of a sudden you want me to come to your event to perform. But I wasn't shit last year. So, she said, and I have been holding on to that. I do still feel some kind of way about it. It does still come in my mind. So they sort of, I think, cleared the air and apologized. And then Betty was like, can I say something? I just feel like all of this was being very selfish. Y'all are arguing about something real petty. And we were trying to do something good for children who are being put in cages. And in that moment, I was sort of with Betty. But then Stephanie got up. She walked off. And what she was explaining why she was pissed off, she said, look, I get it that we were there for a charity event that was important. But the reason why we're here right now is to clear the air. We are here so that we as women, as friends, can clear the air and get back to a good space. So yes, there was something bigger going on that night. But right now is what we're here for. And I said, you know what? Stephanie got a point. Overall, the event was bigger than the fight, but in this moment, they're here to do exactly what they're doing. Argue it out and get it done. And, you know, to everyone's credit, nobody jumped across no tables. Nobody threw nothing at nobody. Nobody tried to fight. They yelled a little bit. But at the end of the day, they cleared it up. Stephanie came back outside. And Betty said, you know what? At the end of the day, there's nothing I wouldn't do for my father. So I do understand. Once I got the whole story, I did understand why Stephanie did what she did. And I did feel I did kind of feel where she was coming from. Stephanie did, after she kind of cussed Betty out, she did apologize for ruining Betty's event. And again, at the end of the day, they were dancing, they were booty bumping, and everybody was all good. We'll see how long that lasts. Diana, we saw her talking to her, the father of her child. Her ex-husband. I hate saying baby daddy. That's why I did that. But, and he's, he got the pictures of the kids. He misses the kids. He wants them to come out and visit. And she's like, look, I'm trying to make it happen. But, trying to save the money, trying to take care of this and take care of that. It's been really hard. Something interesting that came up in that conversation, though, was, and this is what I really do like about this show, because it is bringing awareness about things that maybe people are not understanding when it comes to these drug laws and stuff like that. Her husband is in jail doing 22 years, 27 years, something like that. And his charges are marijuana. We saw Magic a few weeks ago talk about his charges with marijuana. Not heroin, not opioid, not cocaine, not even crack. Weed. Something that is legal in 10 states now, and will probably be 100% legal by the time her husband gets out of jail. And so he said that, him and his lawyers are working on something to maybe try to get his sentence reduced, because at the end of the day, this man is serving 27 years for something that's legal now. And even where it's not legal, people just smoke it like it is, because Lord, I know I just came back from homecoming a few weeks ago, and I promise you, every couple of steps, I was like, I'm like, golly, and I wasn't in a state where it was legal, okay? If I was somewhere where it was legal, that's one thing. But I wasn't somewhere where it was legal, and people were just smoking it like it was. So the fact that, and I'm sure he was moving weight. Like, I'm sure it wasn't like he was selling no dime bags. Like, I get that. But at the end of the day, you would think that for men who are in jail for nonviolent offenses dealing with weed, you would think that there would be some you would think that their lawyers would be able to argue for a shorter sentence, or even time served, because I think her husband's been in jail for like 5 or 6 years already. Even time served at this point, So I hope so. I just think, and I know that was something that legislatures are doing and things like that. Anyway, I ain't gonna go there. Let me get off my soapbox. But it just seems like you would think that there's some things that could be done. So I hope for the best. Hope for the best. Now, Marie goes to her first anger management class, honey. And at the end of the day, Marie doesn't think she needs to be there. She just feels like she was defending herself. She said, I never in my life thought I would be putting my hands on my mother, but I legit was defending myself. Like, I legit was defending myself. She said, she told everybody who she was dating, and she said, look, I knew who he was when I started dating him. And I also knew that my family probably wasn't going to be cool with it. I was always raised that family comes first. But when I fell in love with Michael, he became my family, and I chose him. She said, I'm angry. I feel guilty because I feel like if I had never fallen in love with him, then I would still have my family, and this would have never happened. And so the counselor gave her a sheet. I was like, I thought it was a good activity too. It was an iceberg. And at the top of, how they always talk about what's below the iceberg. You know what I'm saying? You see the tip, but you don't know how deep it goes and all that stuff. So the top of the iceberg was anger, which is what everybody saw. But then under the iceberg were all these other things. Guilt, anxiety, hopelessness, whatever. All these different things. And Marie was able to identify a lot of things underneath that iceberg that led to the blow up. And of course, at the end of the day, it really boils down to she's hurt. She's hurt that her family has decided to excommunicate her, I guess, for lack of a better word. And I think she's even more hurt that they're not a part of her daughter's life. I think she could live with them not being a part of her life, but they're not even a part of her daughter's life. And I believe that hurts her more. Now, then we see Michael and Magic. They're going to go sign their contract to do the cookies deal with the legal weed situation. What I find interesting is that they are riding in this truck, honey. And I'm thinking to myself, don't nobody have an office? They just standing out in the middle of nowhere signing these contracts on the hood of the truck. And it was a cute scene from the point of view of they were talking about creating generational wealth. Michael was saying, look, I'm legally doing what my mother tried to do. She just wanted a better life for her family. She wanted her kids to, like she lived a hard life. And, he said, I thought I had it made. Like I was sitting on money. And then one day it was just gone. And I thought I had put myself in a situation to be good for the rest of my life. And it was just gone. And so now with me signing this contract and us going into this business deal, I am creating the generational wealth that I thought I had illegally, but now I'm doing it legally. And again, for that, I gotta respect it. I can't be mad at Michael or Magic. And I'm sure all of that's been taken care of with their lawyers. I was just a little bit worried with their record, but clearly that's not an issue because I'm 100% certain that's been dealt with. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's what would happen. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.